So I was going through my phone photography archive the other day and ended up printing a few out. And honestly, these hold up like actual prints I'd be happy to look at every day. All shot on an iPhone 13 Pro, which isn't even new anymore, but they work as real photographs. So I wanted to walk you through exactly how I shoot and edit on my phone to get images that feel like art, not just phone clicks. Okay, so the single biggest thing that changed my phone photography is I'm almost always pulling the exposure down. Tap where you want to focus and see this yellow slider, drag it down to darken the image. Or if your phone has exposure compensation in the settings, you can set it to -0.3 or -0.7 for automatic darkening. Because check this out, this is what the phone wants to give you. Everything bright and visible. But when you work that exposure slider manually, suddenly you've got richer colors, actual shadows, depth, and mood. Phone cameras are designed to make everything bright and clear because that's what most people want for snapshots. But if you want something that feels a little more intentional, something with atmosphere, you need to fight that default a little bit. And this one adjustment is probably the easiest way to get there. When I shoot on my phone, I tend to lean more abstract. I'll focus in on the smaller details. A hit of light in a darker scene, a pop of color, a reflection, a silhouette, a piece of a larger environment. Using that exposure slider lets me expose for the highlights. The darker parts of the frame fall into shadow or silhouette, and you get that dramatic feel. For me, shooting with my phone, it gets back to being just for me. Purely about the art and fun of photography. When I see something interesting, I photograph it. I'm not thinking about whether it's portfolio worthy or if it matches the stuff shot on my big camera or if it's even worth sharing online. And here's what's interesting. When I stopped putting all that pressure on myself, the photos actually got better because all I was focused on was, is the light good? How are the colors? Is there a mood here? How can I make my composition more interesting? And that's what makes a photo worth printing anyway. Simply, is it a compelling image? So whether your phone is your main camera or just the camera you have with you for when you see something cool, this approach works either way. The other thing that helps me a lot is turning the grid on. I know it's simple, some of you might know this already, but it actually makes a difference for composition. I'm lining things up on those rule of third lines or at the intersections to try and make more interesting compositions. Typically, unless it's extremely obvious to do so, I try to avoid putting my subject right smack in the middle. I'll go off center to the sides or vertically, and then I'm scanning the edges of my frame. Is there something distracting in the corner? Can I take a step to the side or closer to clean up the edges? And use all of your lenses if you have them. I use the 3x a lot. It's like a 75mm, which is really great for isolating one specific thing in a bigger environment. Because what I'm thinking about with each shot is, what's the one thing I want people to look at first? What's even drawing my eye here to begin with? And then I'm building my composition around that thing. I went way deeper into my process in last week's video about intentional photography, how to go from snapshots to photos that feel purposeful. All of that, of course, applies here too, whether you're shooting with a phone or anything else. Links below if you want to check it out after this one. When I'm shooting with my phone, I'm usually documenting life as it happens. I'm out with friends, walking around the neighborhood, or traveling, but my camera isn't on hand. I'm not trying to create some grand narrative or tell a big story with these photos. They work entirely on atmosphere, light, color, composition, mood, feeling, and that's completely valid. Some of my favorite images are just, I saw something that felt interesting, so I captured it. Alright, so once I've got the photos, this is where we really transform them. I'm basically trying to get rid of that default phone look, that over-processed quality where everything's sharp and visible. The main tool I'm using is the tone curve in Lightroom Mobile. I'm creating this S shape in the curve, darkening the shadows, brightening the highlights, which adds contrast back in. I'll bring the shadows on the left here down and add a bit of punch to the highlights on the right by bringing them up. This creates an actual range of light to dark instead of everything sitting in that mid-tone area. Then I'm pulling the vibrance back because phone colors are usually too strong for my taste, and the tone curve tends to make things more saturated anyway, and I want them to feel natural, not artificial. I'll add a subtle vignette. It gives you that gradation from the edges that naturally draws your eye toward the center of the frame. And a bit of negative clarity to soften the image and reduce that digital look. See the difference? There's way more mood, it feels less processed, closer to how I saw it in real life, and more like what comes out of a dedicated camera. As you may have noticed, I do a lot more black and white with my phone photos. I'll flip it to black and white when the color doesn't actively improve the image. If the colors are dull or too vibrant, or there's just too many colors, I'll go black and white. And then back in that tone curve, I'll make that S shape even more dramatic for black and white to bring up the contrast. By the way, if you want more stuff like this, editing breakdowns, shooting tips, behind the scenes, I send out a weekly photography newsletter. It's free, comes with a free editing guide, links in the description as well. I go deeper on things I can't always fit into videos. All right, now let's talk printing quickly. These are printed at Henry's, a camera store here in Canada. They're not museum quality fine art paper or high-end inks. They're nice prints, don't get me wrong, but the point is they're not super expensive. These 8x10s were like $5 a piece. When you're printing, I recommend lightening your image 20 or 30% more than what you're happy with on your screen. It accounts for the backlit screen on your phone compared to paper. Photos will almost always look darker on paper. And if you're unsure, do a small test print. A lot of places will do little 4x6 inch prints like this on decent paper for like 50 cents a piece. Then you can make tweaks to brightness and color for the bigger final print. Just make sure that the small ones are still on photo paper. The actual paper you print on has a big effect on your colors and tonality too. And a few quick technical things. Turn your grid on if you haven't already. That's usually in your settings under camera. If your phone can shoot RAW, turn that on too. It gives you way more flexibility when you're editing. You don't need it. Some of these photos are JPEGs, but the extra wiggle room in a RAW file is worth it for editing, even though the files are bigger. And probably the most important one, clean your lens. I forget this constantly and then wonder why everything looks soft. So yeah, these are all from that iPhone 13 Pro. Some from last week, some from a couple years ago that I'd completely forgotten about. Pulled them into Lightroom, edited them, printed them, and now they'll go on my wall. Yes, there are differences between this and my big full-frame camera. I'm not gonna stop using it, but when I don't have my dedicated camera in hand, this does the job. Your phone is more capable than you think, because it's about understanding light, composition, mood, and a bit about editing to bring it all together afterward. If you want more about making intentional photographs, regardless of what you're shooting with, I've got a few videos linked below and a playlist you can click on screen here. But yeah, go shoot something interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.